Hello friends, today we are going to start a new topic, that is metallic coating technique. Okay, it is belongs to the coating technology. So in this particular lecture we are going to study what is meant by metallic coating, then what are the types of this metallic coating, and the important point, that is different methods of applying this metallic coating. Okay, along with its application. So let us begin with the first point, that is a introduction. Okay, so here I will summarize about the coat, what is meant by coating. So coating is a covering that can be applied to the surface of an object. Okay, normally it is called substrate, and the purpose of application of coating is the value enhancement of the substrate. How? By improving its appearance, then corrosion resistant property and wear resistance. Okay, and the process of coating, it involves application of thin film of functional material onto the substrate, and the functional material which are used for coating are metallic or non-metallic, then organic or inorganic, liquid, solid or gas, and this can be genuine criteria of classification of coating. Okay, now what is my metallic coating? So metallic coating can be applied over a metallic as well as non-metallic substrate. Sometimes non-metallic like plastic are coated to give metallic appearance also. So the protecting the metals by metal coating is an old and very widely used practice, as these are more durable, more decorative, and provide better protection against the corrosion. There are two factors are involved in the protection of the underlying metal by a metallic coating. So one is that it mechanically isolates the metal from the corrosion environment, and second is the galvanic relation of the coated metal and the base metal. And the based on this factor, metallic coatings are classified into two categories, that is one is cathodic coatings and second is the anodic coating. So first is a cathodic coating. In such a case, the coating metal is cathodic with respect to the base metal, and co- co- uh, coatings of tin, nickel, and chromium are the cathodic coatings, as these are higher than the steel in the galvanic series for most services condition. And these coatings provide a physical barrier between the metal and the environment. When the coating is dense, non-porous, continuous, and without discontinuities, corrosion medium does not come in contact with the base metal, and the base metal does not corrode. Coating being cathodic does not corrode. Okay, so corrosion of the underlying metal occurs at a small continuities, crack, etc. And as it is anodic, as the anodic area is small, pitting corrosion will occur, and this advantages is overlooked for some application where corrosion is not a severe problem. For the attractive, shining, lustrous, and reflective appearance, such as nickel and chromium fitting on the steel, and by the excellent corrosion and fabrication qualities of tin plate for using food containers. Okay, so lot of automobile parts have chromium plating. Silver and gold plating is done on the brasses and bronze for the ornamental purposes. Okay, so this is about the cathodic coatings. Now let us discuss about the anodic coatings. So the coating metal is anodic to the underlying the metal. Okay, in this process, and the anodic coatings provide galvanic protection to the base metal, in addition to acting as a physical barrier between the base metal and the environment. And when the coating is dense, non-porous, continuous, and adhering, then it separates as a physical barrier the environmental from the physical barrier between the environment from the metal base metal, and add flaws cracks, discontinuities, and pinholes, the base metal is protected by the galvanic action of the coatings, okay, which offering a sacrificial type of the anodic cathodic coating protection, okay. And the zinc and cadmium, even magnesium are examples of metals that provide galvanic protection to the sheets. And the superior properties of the cadmium coatings under conditions such as attack by salt spray or alkalines may justify their high cost. And the life of the coatings, it depends on the nature of environment as it governs the nature of the corrosion product. And the life of the coating primarily depends to the thickness of the how much you are providing the coating, okay. Also, the galvanized corroded steel sheet are commonly used by the building roof, shades, cans, container are manufactured by this anodic coating. Then nuts and bolts are also galvanized. Anode coating, because of their continued corrosion, have poor appearance because of poor, poor luster and reflectivity. And to avoid this poor appearance, particularly of hub caps and wheel trims of the automobile, double coating first anodic coating and then cathodic coating over the anodic coating is given, okay. Then anodic coating takes care of the corrosion, while cathodic coating maintain the good luster and reflectivity. In such cases, steel is first flash coated with the copper and buffing is done, okay. And then pure nickel coated followed by the bright nickel coat containing the sulfur is applied. And finally the steel is given a thin chromium coating with exposure to the environment, okay. So let us start the main important point, that is the methods of applying coating, metallic coating. So first is the electroplating, or we can say electro deposition. So this electroplating is also known as the electrochemical plating, and it is a electrolyte process. In this process, metal ions in a electrolyte solution are deposited onto the cathode, okay. Then in the electrolyte process, anode is generally made of the metal being plated on to being plated. So it serves as a source of coating metal, and workpiece where coating is to be applied made as a cathode. First, direct DC current from an external power source is passed through the electrolyte solution, and then the electrolyte is a aqueous solution of the acids, bases, or the salt. Electrolyte conducts electric current by a movement of the plate metal ions in a solution. And for optimum result, the part to be plated should be chemical cleaned, and the coat could be thinner or thicker, dull or bright, soft or hard, ductile or brittle. It's depend on the temperature, current density, time, and composition of the bath, okay. Hard plating resists erosion, corrosion better in case of the zinc, nickel, silver, then cadmium, chromium, okay, are also for electroplated. It gives a thin and uniform coat and has become popular. Cadmium and decorative nickel and chromium plating are almost always produced by this electroplating, okay. So electroplating may have plating of different metals, and plating of the some of the important metals now I am going to describe. So first is the zinc plating. zinc plating Zinc plated steel products are fasteners, wire goods, electric switch boxes, and sheet metal parts. And zinc coating provide high resistance to the corrosion. Zinc and also zinc can be plated on large area sheet metal wiring galvanization. Okay, so here I have shown the some zinc plated steel product. Okay, look at on the slide. Let us go for the new, that is nickel plating. So normally nickel plating is done for corrosion resistant purpose and a decorative purpose. In these cases, brass, steel, zinc die castings serve as substrate material, and mostly automobile streams are also plated with the nickel. Okay, and here in this diagram I have shown the process of the nickel plating. Okay, so as a cathode I have considered the nail, and the nickel sulfate I have used as a electrolyte. Okay, and I have nickel anode as a I have used. Okay, let us discuss about the gold plating. It is a method of depositing a thin layer of the gold on the substrate of the other metal, and most often substrate is a silver or copper. It provides corrosion resistant and high electricity conductive layer, which is used in the electrical connectors and printed circuit board also. And the major problem in the gold plating on copper atoms have tendency to diffuse through the gold layer, and the causing tarnishing of its surface and formation of the oxide or sulfate layer. Okay, over there, to avoid this, a layer of some barrel metal like nickel is applied before the gold plating on the substrate of the copper as a nickel atoms which do not diffuse to gold. Okay, and some metal may also be gold plated to improve their aesthetic value for ornamental purposes also. Okay, so here I have shown the some products of the gold plating. Okay, now let us discuss the chrome plating. So chrome plating is a finishing treatment given to the metal surface using electrolyte deposition of the chromium or chromium plating, and the decorative bright chrome plating of a thickness 10 micron or nickel plating is done on the steel also, and it is used in case of metal furniture, automotive trim, etc. And the chromium plating is a hard plating which provide wear resistance properly to the surface. Okay, so here I have shown the some examples of the chrome plating. Then tin plating. The tin plating is used for ferrous and non-ferrous metallic surfaces, and the tin is the non-toxic ductile and corrosion resistant material, so it is widely used in the food packaging industries. And sheet metal coated with tin can be processed further without any damage to their surfaces. Okay, and this is possible due to excellent ductility of the tin and its alloy. So electroplating of the tin is also used in electronics industry because of its ability to protect the base metal from the oxidation, and it is used for the protecting uh, solar durability. Okay, so here you can see the some products I have shown. Now let us discuss the last part, that is the alloy plating. It's some in some cases electroplating of the two metal is done simultaneously, and it is called the alloy plating. Like nickel cobalt is a common electroplated alloy, and the example I have shown is the figure. Okay, this is about the electroplating and their types. Let us move for the second method of applying the metallic coating, that is the electroforming. In this method, electrolyte deposition of the metal onto the pattern is continue until the required thickness is achieved, and the pattern is then removed to the leave the formed part. Okay, and the part produced so is called it is called electroformed part, and its thickness may be up to 0.05 mm. Electroformed parts are commonly fabricated of copper, nickel, and nickel cobalt alloy, and its application include fine molds and dies, molds for lenses, then plates for embossing and printing also. So here you can see in this diagram how I have shown the mandrel is coated with the copper. Okay, now let us discuss the electrolysis plating. So as name indicates, it is a plating process done entirely by the chemical reaction. No external source of electric current is required in this case. A deposition of the metal onto the part surface occur in a aqueous solution which contain ions of the desired plating metal. Okay, and the process uses a reducing agent, and the work part surface acts as a catalyst for the reaction. And normally nickel and nickel alloys are used for this plating, and it is costlier as compared to other similar method. Nickel plating by this method is used to get high resistance to the corrosion wear. Okay, and the electroless copper plating is used to plate through holes of the PCB. Okay, so look at here, I have shown the process of electroless less plating. Okay, how we can go for the plating of nickel onto the that nut. Okay, now this electroless plating has the following advantages. The first is the uniform thickness of the plating, even on complex part geometry, and this is a problem in case of the electroplating. And this process can be used to both metallic as well as non-metallic substrates. Okay, and the no current is flowing in this process, so this power source is not required. So these are advantages. Now let us discuss the new one, that is a hot dipping. Hot dipping is a process in which a metal is immersed in a molten bath of the another metal that has to be coated on the on on the first metal. And for this process, melting point of the first metal, that is substrate, should be higher than the melting point of the plate to be plated. And the common substrate metal for hot dipping are steel and iron, and common coating materials are zinc, aluminum, tin and lead. Okay, and the working principle of this hot dip is forming transition layer of varying like composition. And next to the substrate are common normally intermetallic compounds of the two metals, and at the exterior are solid solutions are like consisting predominantly of the coating metal, and presence of transition layer provides excellent adhesion to the coating. And clean sheet plates are immersed in the molten metal bath of the low melting point metal, and mainly zinc, tin, lead and aluminum are used. And galvanized sheet is produced by hot dipping also, and these thin coats are difficult to produce. Okay, so this is about the hot dipping. Let us discuss the next, that is the metal spraying. So it is also called as spray metallizing, and it involves impregnating a base metal with a metal or metal compound by spraying the coating metal or compound to the surface of the base metal. And the metal used for deposition may be either in the form of wire or the powder. And before coating, the surface of subtract metal is first cleaned perfectly to ensure adhesion of the sprayed metal and deposition of even and uniform layer. Okay, so this care is taken. And when coating material is used as a powder in the powder form, then it is known as the powder metallizing. And when it is in the form of the wire, then this process is called the wire metallizing. In both cases, coating metal is atomized before spraying it under pressure on the metal substrate. Okay, so let us discuss the first, that is the wire spraying. So in this process, special type of the spray gun is used. Look at here, I have shown. And the spray gun consists of the gas torch, and the gas torch is connected to the oxygen and acetylene cylinders in the same way as in case of the oxyacetylene welding. And the torch drawn mixture of two gases through high pressure in the cylinder and develops an acetylene flame, and the metal to be sprayed is fed into the gun in the form of wire, and the flame at the end of the torch melt the fed metal and it is atomized. And then gun is also equipped with the another passage which is directly connected to the output of our air compressor, and the compressed air coming out from the compressor carries the atomized metal particles on the surface of the substrate metal with very high velocity, and the high velocity bombardment of the particle is done by maintaining the certain distance from the substrate. And so these particles spread over the substrate metal surface, and the spread molten metal cools down and freeze to form a deposit layer, and then required thickness of coated metal can be maintained by laying down many such layer over there. Okay, so this is the wire spraying. Let us go for the powder spraying. So it is also called as powder metallizing process. In this case, coating material is used in the powder form, and coating material is filled in a hopper from where it is fed to the spray gun by suitable means, and the gas flame is used as a usual to the melt the powder, and the compressed air is then used to atomize and spray the molten metal onto the surface of the workpiece in the same way as described in case of the wire spraying. And there is one more important technique of powder spraying named as a plasma spray. In this case, as I have shown here, so in this case plasma gun is used. Plasma gun is made up of the copper carrying a non consumable tungsten electrode, and the gun body is made up of the double wall, and water is circulated between the wall to the cooling purpose, and a DC powder supply power supply is used to supply high density current into the circuit in which copper body is made an anode and the tungsten electrode made as a cathode, and a high density arc is stuck between the anode and cathode, and that established arc is shielded with the help of the inert gas, and the hot gas comes out from the nozzle of the body at a very high velocity in the form of the very bright and shining flame that is called plasma, which carries a very high heat density, and the powder of coating material is fed into the stream of the plasma, which melt it readily and atomize it. Okay, and the atomized molten metal is carried to the work surface at a high velocity by this plasma stream and deposited there. And the wire gun process is generally preferred to the easy availability of the coating material in the wire form and the low cost of the operation. But powder coating by this spray is dense and faster, and the plasma coating is preferred in case of the coating of the carbides of metals, titanium, chromium, oxide of zirconium, titanium, etc. Okay, so this is about the powder spraying. Okay, so let us discuss the next, that is vacuum metallization. Now here it is a vacuum deposition process. Any metal can be coated on the base metal through this process, and the some non-metals can also be coated on the substrate metal, and this process is very effective for deposition thin metal film or the film of a metal compound on a substrate base. Okay, and normally coating metals used in this method are aluminum, chromium, chromium, silver, nickel, gold, platinum, germanium. Okay, and the substrate metal can be different metals, ceramics, glass, plastic, papers, and cloth also. And in this process, substrate, that is the workpiece, and the coating material are placed in the high vacuum chamber. Okay, so here I have shown in this figure, and the coating material is heated by the electrical means, and due to the vacuum, hot coated metal atoms leave the surface in the metal form, metal wafer form, and the condense at a surface of the substrate metal, and the workpiece is kept slowly surrounding during the process, so that slowly rotating around the, okay, and during the process the entire surface is exposed to the advancing coating metal wafer. Okay, here I have mentioned some advantages of vapor deposition method. Thin coating of the metal is possible by this method. Then decorative coating on household items are possible through this method. Then effective and slow cost coating for corrosion and thermal resist are possible. Then coating quality is usually assessed by the measuring its porosity, oxide content, macro and micro hardness, then bond strength and surface roughness. Generally, in case of the metal spray, coating quality increases with the particular velocities. Okay, now let us discuss the next one, that is a high velocity oxygen fuel spraying. Okay, it is one of the way of metal spraying, and in this case a mixture of gases or the liquid fuel and oxygen is fed into the combustion chamber where they are ignited and burned continuously, and the generated hot gas at a pressure approximately 1 megapascal originated through a converging diverging nozzle and travel through the straight section, and then the velocity of gases at